3.
Hello, my name is Malaya Khan, and today my presentation will be about the influence of religion on Muslim athletes. So, who are Muslim athletes? Muslim athletes are athletes who follow the religion of Islam. How does religion influence Muslim athletes? Religion has been tremendously influencing athletes and their decisions in the athletic arena for generations. That influence can be seen through athletes choosing to wear religious clothing while playing, Muslim athletes taking part in the holy month of Ramadan, and athletes continuously receiving criticism and discrimination due to their religion. One of the main impacts of religion on Muslim athletes is athletes choosing to wear religious clothing on the playing field. There are many athletes who are prime examples of this discrimination, but however, the ones that spoke out on these issues include Maheen Haq, an activist from Hagerstown, Maryland, Bilqis Abdul Qadir, a former Division I of NCAA basketball player, and Noor Alexandra Abu Karam, who played 3 sports as a hijabi in high school. A hijabi is a Muslim woman who covers her hair. Look, honey, I don't understand why, but you can't play today. The referee says you can't play because of your headscarf. These were the words that were said to Maheen Haq when she was only 12 years of age while playing an important basketball game. This statement was detrimental to her as the referee did not allow her to play because of her hijab. And as explained by Habiba Hussein in the second quote, Bilqis Abdul Qadir made history by becoming the first hijabi woman to play Division I basketball. In spite of that, her talent was not enough because when she decided to play professionally, FIBA, the International Basketball Federation, issued a headgear ban, which meant that Bilqis could not play unless she removed her hijab. According to these quotes by Liam Stack, Abu Karam was not allowed to run in her hijab without a special permission. Stack then goes on to explain that Abu Karam has always worried about officials giving her a trouble during uniform checks, which is not something a 16-year-old high school student athlete should be worried about. Muslim athletes participating in the holy month of Ramadan is another way that the influence of religion on Muslim athletes can be seen. During the holy month of Ramadan, Muslims engage in fasting from sunrise to sunset. They abstain from any liquid or solid nutrients. So Muslim athletes taking part in this month while competing at a high level have to face many physical and mental challenges. These quotations by Amina Kilpatrick showcase how Kyrie Irving, a professional basketball player, observed the holy month of Ramadan during the NBA playoffs, and how there have been many occasions when he broke his fast during the middle of a game and then continued with a snack and then continued playing afterwards. Not being able to eat or drink since sunrise, especially while playing a professional game of basketball, can lead to dehydration, which can be very challenging for a lot of athletes. As stated by Henry Greenstein, observing the month of Ramadan for athletes in an environment like Arizona's, where it could reach up to 115 degrees, can be a great challenge. Arizona's athletes have to adjust their training schedules, they have to deal with a dramatic shift in their sleeping and eating patterns, and they have to deal with their training with their full-bellied and hydrated peers. For an athlete, this can be mentally very challenging because they have to get mentally prepared for these obstacles and perform at their best level. Lastly, the impact of religion on athletes in the athletic domain can be portrayed by athletes getting criticized and discriminated for their religious beliefs. They do not get equal access to training facilities or professional playing fields due to the overgeneralized ideas that have been formed about their religions. These statements by Khalid Beydoun demonstrates the amount of stereotyping and prejudice that was associated with the religion of Islam in the 2016 Rio de Janeiro Games, which means that the Muslim athletes who competed in those games and the Muslim audience that attended those games were also perceived with the same prejudice and stereotypical ideas. One of the main stereotypical idea being terrorism. This statement by the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum supports the idea that Muslim athletes are not the only ones who receive discrimination due to their religions. Athletes from other belief systems, such as the Jews and the Romas, also fall victim to this inequity. Also, as showcased by the quote above, when the Olympics were held in Germany in 1936, an Aryans-only policy was issued that excluded all Jewish athletes and athletes from other religious backgrounds from all German athletic institutions. These two statements also prove the point that discrimination against athletes due to their religion is not just a current issue, but it has been occurring historically. This excerpt from the Meditations of the Emperor Marcus Aurelius Antonius, Book 4, is in great similarity with the prejudice that individuals from a religion other than what the Germans followed received in the 1936 Olympics. They were treated accordingly with the negative stereotypical ideas that were formed about them, such as them being unintellectuals, as described in this excerpt. So, what has been tried? Some might argue that sports should be kept religiously neutral, but as pointed out in this quote by Bilkis Abdulkadir, what about the players who have religious tattoos? They're not asked to remove them or cover them, so why do the players who wear religious clothing receive unequal treatment? This quote from the article "The Dark Side of Resilience" is in great resemblance with Bilkis in her resilience, which she showed in her 4 years of strong advocacy for athletes who also wear religious clothing. Her resilience paid off because in May 2017, FIBA removed the headgear ban. This is another quote by Khalid Beydoun, which is a great depiction of the fact that the tremendous achievements by Muslim athletes in the 2016 Rio de Janeiro Games greatly overpowered and damaged the prejudice and overgeneralized ideas about Islam in the people who follow the religion of Islam. What can be done? This statement is by Bilkis Abdulkadir, where she explains that instead of having an overgeneralized ideas about people from other religions, people should educate themselves on different religions, which can then lead to the normalization of athletes practicing their religion freely and confidently inside and outside of the athletic sphere. In conclusion, religion has a tremendous impact on decisions of Muslim athletes in the athletic domain, and that can be seen through athletes choosing to wear religious clothing on the playing field, athletes observing the month of Ramadan while competing at a high level, and athletes receiving criticisms and discrimination due to their religious beliefs. There have been small solutions to this type of discrimination, such as FIBA lifting the headgear ban and athletes breaking stereotypes about their religions with their great athletic achievements. But this issue is yet to be encountered on a global level. To minimize the stereotypes and prejudice against athletes due to their religion, people need to attain knowledge about different religions. In spite of that, with the high determinations of these athletes due to their strong faith, they continue to fiercely and confidently compete in the athletic domain. In conclusion to my presentations, here are my citations. Thank you.